In today's video, we're going to talk about filing a request for production at hearing. So most family law discovery requests, the other side is not required to produce the documents until 30 days after the request or 60 days after the request. So if you have an upcoming hearing or you need the documents by a certain deadline, filing a traditional discovery request isn't going to get it done because you might the party doesn't necessarily have to provide the documents by the time you need them. So an effective document to file is a request for production at hearing, which basically is saying, okay, I'm asking that these documents be provided by a certain hearing date. So request, or let me show you the statutes that dictate here. I'm going to share my screen. So the relevant statute is 25-56. So it says at the trial management conference prior to the commencement of an evidentiary hearing or trial, but in no event later than 5 days before the scheduled hearing date, either party may serve on the other party or request for production of documents and tangible things. And then it goes on to cite the relevant statutes or practice book sections. So it basically means that as long as you file, or you can request that documents be provided for a hearing, but you have to make sure that you file the request at least 5 days before the hearing date. So let me show you the pleadings that need to be filed. So it's just a request for production at time of hearing. So pursuant to the Connecticut Practice Book, section 25-56, which is the section I just showed you, the plaintiff in the above captioned matter does hereby request that the defendant produce the following documents at the time of hearing scheduled for, so insert the date and the, the time, the location of the hearing, or some of them are, remote. So you can say, via remote teleconference or whatever. And then right below that, you just list the documents that you're requesting the other side provide. And then your standard, signature and certification. So that is the request, but you don't file this with the court. Similar to other discovery requests, you don't file the actual request, you just want to file the notice. So this is the notice that you would file. It just says, the plaintiff certifies that he served upon the defendant through her counsel, request for production at time of hearing, dated, put the date, and then seeking production of discovery at a hearing scheduled for, and insert the date. So it's just important to make sure you file this request at least 5 days before the hearing. Because obviously if you wait too long, if you prepare right before the hearing, you're not, you won't be within the time requirement, and the other side won't have any obligation to submit the documents. So then the other problem becomes, you receive the documents on the date of the hearing. So it doesn't give you much time to prepare, but at least you have the documents. And, there are some other ways to make sure you do get documents in advance of the hearing rather than on the hearing date. Maybe you notice the other party's deposition, but we'll cover that in other videos. But this is just a way to make sure you get documents for the hearing.